In order to get admitted into IITM, it is a requirement to give GATE. How I prepared for it, how this journey was, to be honest, it was very easy for me. It was because of the coursework which I've done in BS. I'm the very first batch of the BS degree there. They are looking for TAs and they have to come to the campus. And it was like, oh, wow, I have to come to, I can come to the campus.
Yes.
And sometimes, sometimes people ask me, you did your chemical engineering and now you're transitioned to data science. Your chemical engineering degree is waste. I have heard this from many people, but what generally I tell them is, bro, this is not how the thing is. I use both the domains and can work on a real life application.
Absolutely.
There was just my friend. We were doing this group study.
Okay.
And he secured All India rank of 94. So we two studied together. And he says, hey, did you complete this particular portion? I was like, no, I'm just leaving this. Okay, hey, wait, let me tell you. Let me bring my notebook. I'll explain you this stuff. And he explained me those two, three topics, and these 2-3 topics were there in my exam. Please get your basics correct. Keep your solid foundation, maths and stats. These are the very important, very basic important courses which are there for data scientists. You're gonna use them everywhere, and industry people are very happy and they're very welcoming for the students who are coming from IITM BS.
So hello everyone and a very warm welcome to this yet another episode of Stories by IITM BS. Today we have with us Rohit Kumar. He is a student of IITM BS and he recently got an All India rank of 234 in the GATE Data Science and AI examination and has secured an admission in MS program in Data Science and AI at IIT Madras. So today we'll be having a conversation with him and get great insights on GATE examination and a lot more. So hello Rohit.
Hi.
So can you share a brief background about yourself, a brief introduction for our viewers?
Okay, hi, I'm Rohit and I have done my graduation in Bachelor's in Chemical Engineering from Punjab University, Chandigarh. And during my third year or so, when there was a COVID struck, I was inclined to a data science. And then I was looking for Coursera courses there. And I get to know about this BS degree at that point. I'm the very first batch of the BS degree there. And that's how I inclined towards, I started my journey as a data scientist. Later, during the program when I was doing my coursework, along with that I had done internship at Larsen & Toubro. Along with that I have done internship at Tata Communications. And recently I was working as an AI research engineer at PetaView. It's a startup, AI startup. And during this course of this entire tenure, I got admitted into IITM BS, IITM MS as in research scholar there.
That's great to hear. So Rohit, you said you are from the very first batch of IITM BS degree.
Yeah.
So you started in 2020 if I'm not wrong?
2020 I gave the qualifier, 2021 January I started my coursework. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you come to know about this program? Because back then we had COVID and
it
was a very new program. So how was it for you?
Yeah, so it was like I was, as I told you, I was doing chemical engineering. And in engineering, the people who are doing the engineering from tier 3 or tier 2 colleges, they tend to do, like they have this thing of doing NPTEL courses, and that's how I get to know. I was doing some NPTEL courses and NPTEL sends the announcements on the new, and that's when the announcement came to me, and that's how I get to know about the BS program.
Alright, so you got to know it via NPTEL.
Yeah, correct.
Alright, so since you are from the very first batch of this degree and you have witnessed all the changes that have occurred over the years, you have started from 2021 and now it's 2024. So how has the journey been of IITM?
Yep, so initially when I wrote my qualifier, it was like a lot of excitement was there. Because every engineer, like I wrote my JEE, I wrote twice. I took a drop after my 12th. Yeah, so I had this dream to be in IIT. Yeah, and so the very first batch when I got enrolled, I was very excited that I can also be part of IITM. I can also be called myself as an alumni once I complete BSc or BS in the future. So it started with a lot of excitement, and then I saw the curriculum and the coursework, how it was going. Like when I was in my first batch, there were like 3 quizzes used to happen and one end semester used to happen along with the OPPs. So that time there were like lot more quizzes and exams. Right now at this current stage we have only 2 quizzes and but then there were 3 quizzes, and and that's how the curriculum was. It was overwhelmed at that point of time. Ki every month, like you can say that every 20 days we used to go to exam center to give to write exam.
All right.
Yeah. Then there was there was this lockdown happened. I remember in stats too. Like we gave online proctored. That was my first time. Then like for certain batch of certain the quizzes were conducted online in a proctored environment, and that was my first experience as an online proctored environment. I gave my exams, like online exams in my chemical engineering, but that time it was like you are on the G Meet, you just write the exam and that's it. You can just copy from the mobile phone, and that sort of thing was there.
Yeah.
And when I get to know, there was a camera there, front there is camera.
You have to do all the setup.
All the setup and everything,
Yeah.
And that happened. So it was a nice experience. Ki, now you can't, like, there's a very less scope of cheating. No, I don't cheat, but it's
Absolutely.
like I was like, okay, now it was like people who are really have done put up efforts and they can give the exams, and that was how my first few. It was like I was starting up. I was copying up how the environment is, how this coursework is happening. Lot of us every week there was assignments and all. So it was like starting and getting hang of IIT. But as time progressed, I completed my foundation. Then the maturity about this, like, you get that this tempo or how IIT works, and then you really start putting things. And then in my diploma level, this IITM BS program has this TA-ship, mentors and stuff like that. I get to know when I was in first or second term of my diploma, I get to know that there are Python mentors they are looking for, because for the juniors. And I became Python mentors for 2 terms, and then eventually I get to know about the TAs. They are looking for TAs and they have to come to the campus.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, wow, I have to come to, I can come to the campus.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, and then I became the teaching assistant for MAD 2.
Okay.
And I was the TA for the 2 terms. And by the time I at this point of time, I was done with my diploma.
Okay.
And before being the TA for the MAD 2, I was doing internship at Tata Communications.
Okay.
And this internship, I got it from the IIC.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and that's how till my journey was there till diploma. So I was studying, but at the time somewhere somewhere or other I was working as well. There was some sort of income which was happening, because this curriculum is meant in that way that you can work along with your studies.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that was how it was. And later when I came to degree, and they just gave this for the degree students who have this CGPA of 8 and stuff.
Yeah.
And they allow the students to work and take on-campus courses.
Yeah.
And it was enabled in January term, and I was here in campus, so I took on-campus courses as well. It got hang of how how courses happen in IIT offline. There was a drastic difference between online courses and the off-campus. Yeah, on-campus courses. And so this has been a lot of excitement is there, and I don't have those words on how to describe this entire journey. Yeah.
But I think you expressed it really well. I think it was like a complete ride for you. Ever since you started in 2021, you would not have expected that you would get the exposure of campus life at IITM, right?
Yeah, it was never in my mind that it would be. And there was this thing, like, initially when this degree started, it was just BSc. I was like, okay, 3-year BSc, and there was this, back in mind, there was this thing that, okay, it's just a BSc, but it was from IIT, that was a satisfaction, but it was just a BSc.
Right.
But later it changed to BS. So all those changes in the coursework, how things have evolved around it, I have seen all those things in this program.
Very true.
Yeah.
So, Rohit, since you already have you did a bachelor's BTech in chemical engineering, right?
Yeah.
And you also did the BS degree. So, any contrast, because chemical engineering is a completely different field as compared to data science. So, how was it for you to, manage that change, or because you were genuinely interested? That is what I got from a conversation. So, but still there are contrasts between both the fields. So, how was the experience for you from either switching or just managing both the things?
I was not managing both the things. Like,
okay.
I completed my bachelor's in chemical engineering in May 2021.
Okay.
And I joined BS on January 2021. So there was this overlap with these two degrees of just 6 months.
Okay.
And that period, and that point of time, there was this COVID. So no
Okay.
on-campus classes were happening for
Right.
when I was doing chemical engineering.
Right.
So the transition, like you were looking for like how I managed, it was very, like for me it was easy because there was no on-campus
Yeah.
classes were there. So
Absolutely.
that's how it is for me. Like, and I was genuinely interested. There was this when I was in chemical engineering, and I was involved in volunteering, and I was involved in organizing the courses
Yeah.
there in Chandigarh. So I used to have a mentor called Ramnik Bansal.
Okay.
And at the time he was like he was a data scientist, and from then I knew that there is some term called as data scientist.
Okay.
And that's how, and genuinely I got interested, like I was interested from the third year of my chemical engineering, and I was looking for courses on the Coursera and stuff. Like
Right.
it was like 1 year before this degree started. So I've done two, three courses on Coursera, and then how this transition happened. So it was smooth transition for me.
All right, that is
Yeah.
great to hear. Usually, like people think fields like chemical engineering or the core fields, they don't have a lot of scope. So, like, okay, I have this question from myself as well. Like, is that the reality, or there is scope in those fields, or did you switch to data science because you had genuine interest, or because you had a bit of repulsion towards the core field or chemical engineering in general?
Like you asked this question, right? Whether there are opportunities in the coal field.
Yeah.
Personally, I feel that there are a lot of opportunities both in academia and industry as well for chemical engineers or
Okay.
chemical core engineering as well. But as I told, right, this transition happened in my third
Yeah,
year.
right.
The interest was there for this data scientist, and that's how this transition happened.
That's amazing to
Yeah.
hear. So, since you transitioned to data science, how has the journey been like? Because it's a completely new field, and online you are doing all the coursework and everything. So, how is it going for you? How is this field for people who are looking forward to switching into data science or pursuing it as a career?
Okay. This field, as you also know, like it's growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and for me, it was like every day I'm learning new things. And when I got admitted into MS and started my journey as a research scholar here at IITM,
Right.
I get to know that there is lot more scope and lot more opportunities which are there,
Right.
which I was not aware yet. And generally, this is like interdisciplinary field. You can
Yes.
and sometimes sometimes people ask me, you did your chemical engineering and now you're transitioned to data science. Your chemical engineering degree is waste.
No.
I have heard this from many people, but what generally I tell them is ki, bro, this is not how
Very true.
the thing is. I can apply the chemical engineer. I can work.
Yes.
I use both the domains and can work on a real life
Yes,
application.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even like we had this interview with Sudarshan sir, the Python professor at foundational level, and a lot of people that I have interacted with, of course it's an interdisciplinary field. I've seen people applying data science in biotechnology and a lot more fields, and that is a suggestion I get from other research interns as well. So I think there is nothing like you've done chemical engineering. You can definitely apply data science, and especially professors do suggest to apply data science into other fields.
Yeah.
So that's a great combination if you can pair it up with some other field. So that's a great thing to do. Also, like coming to your MS journey and cracking the GATE Data Science and AI examination. So since it was the very first time that the data science paper was introduced, how was it for you, and how did you actually decide that I want to give this exam?
Okay. About this question you asked, like how did I decided to give this exam? I knew about GATE exam, as
Yeah.
I'm from engineering background. So, and I know what opportunities are there after GATE.
Right.
And this GATE exam for the DA, which was introduced this previous year itself, right? Yeah. So, and I was inclined towards research. I am inclined toward exploring more ways and
Very
more opportunity, more ways to explore, and what more can be done with this
Yeah.
field, artificial intelligence and data science, and so I was more inclined to that. And in order to get admitted into IITM, it is
Yeah.
a requirement to give GATE.
Right.
So objective is this, and how I prepared for it, and how this journey was. To be honest, it was very easy for me.
Okay.
The reason, like I'll tell you the reason why I'm saying that was easy for me,
Yeah.
It was because of the coursework which I've done in BS. So,
Okay.
I will tell you, whatever we do, whatever we have studied in this particular entire program,
Yeah.
the coursework was exactly or somewhat same with the DA paper, and the coursework what we have done is the same. So I have done my coursework very well.
Okay.
And I was like, when I was doing the coursework during these 3 years, I was focused and I was understanding everything, and I was understanding in depth. So that entire 3 years, even though I was not preparing for GATE, but entire these
So
three
it kind
years
of
and
shaped your preparation.
shaped my preparation. And then in December, around like when I was done with my end term in December, then I started preparing for the GATE. So it was just 1 month preparation. And
Okay.
how I prepared was I was just going through my course content of MLT, MLF, and all the other courses,
Right.
and that's how I prepared for GATE.
That is great to hear, and I have heard it from a lot of people who have cracked GATE this year that the coursework of IITM BS is somewhat very sufficient for GATE examination. So I think that's a very important point that he has made here. And also, since you are exploring things in the research domain as well, we have a lot of students in the BS degree who are just looking for placements. So I like. Would you like to give any message to them to just explore the research field or other opportunities, because the coursework itself I believe is very rigorous and has a lot of the topics covered. So any message you want to give to students out there?
The students who are preparing for placements, I would say that keep your basics clear,
Right.
and wherever you are like keep creative, because I have worked in industry for like I've worked in 3 companies,
Right.
PetaView and Tata Communications and Larsen and Toubro. And from the experience, I know that if we are creative in solving the problem, we know how whatever coursework we have done here, how we apply in real world applications and real world scenarios, how we can and creatively solve those problems with the help of whatever we know. And industry people are very happy, and they're very welcoming to
Yes.
for the students who are coming from IITM BS.
Also, if you would like to, throw some light on the research culture in India, because usually, like if I see from the point of view of a student who is passing out from 12th, usually they prefer IITs for one big reason, which is the placements, right? They very less people they actually consider the coursework and what they're going to learn. All they want is placement. If I talk from a high school student who is looking forward to joining a bachelor's degree after 12th, so usually people have this focus on placements, and very less people are actually inclined towards research. So I think this is a current trend that is going on right now. So what do you have to say for students who are looking forward to joining the IITM BS degree? What should they actually focus on, and what are the future prospects ahead for them?
The example you gave, right, the student who is coming out of 12th and then looking for placements,
Yeah.
that is obvious that is gonna happen because as you move out of this 12th,
Yeah.
and you heard like IITs are giving, like when you go into IITs, the core packages goes from 1 crore, 2 crore, 10
Yeah.
crore and stuff, like they hear those news.
Yeah.
And that's how they don't know, like they have just come out of the 12th,
Yeah.
and they don't know what research is and what the field is. But when the student gets out and comes out from the graduation and he completes his graduation, then this shift happens between whether he wants to go to the in research or whether he wants to go into the industry.
Very true.
And that's when this shift happens. And India has a lot of opportunities. Like when like this has been 1 month when I have been enrolled into IITM BS for as of
Okay.
now, and I have been like there have been lot of interactive sessions with the professor here at IITM,
Yeah.
and they are telling about what they are researching on and how on which topics they are doing, and this is a lot of like it's a great stuff which is
Yeah.
happening here in IITM, and in the same
Yes.
department I've enrolled. I'm doing my MS, so there is lot of work which is happening in India.
That's great to hear. So since you are a part of IITM BS degree, so we have these societies and extracurricular activities. We have clubs, societies. We also have offline paradox, and recently we have started with city meetups and everything. So how was your experience with this? Were you an active part of any of them?
I was not active part of any of them. More, I was like I've been in the campus for around 1.5 years now.
Okay.
I came in campus in June last year.
Okay.
and as a TA, and I've been here. So my interactions didn't happen with those societies and
Yeah,
meetups
right.
because I already have a lot of IITM BS students which are placed here in campus,
Yeah.
and there are TAs coming and going. Like I have seen 3 batches of TAs which have came and gone.
Okay.
So I have been like I've been interacting with them, and that's kind of exposure which I have, and not the societies and
Right.
clubs. Yeah.
Very true. So you have a more hands-on exposure at IITM itself.
Yeah, yeah.
That is amazing. So coming to GATE data science and AI examination, a lot of students are looking forward to preparing for the GATE exam. So do you have any tips for them how to go about, how to start their preparations, and what should be their approach for doing
Okay.
well in the exam?
Okay, so the students who are giving the GATE for the first time, or first thing in the GATE is, which I feel is important, is time management. And time management comes when you practice, and the second thing is when you have your concepts clear. Clarity about the concepts helps a lot to increase your pace when you are attempting the questions.
Very
Also, it improves how you can, like, correctness of the answers, and how accurately you are answering the questions, because
Yes.
there is a negative marking in GATE
Yeah,
exam,
yeah.
and this accuracy, and with speed is important.
Yeah.
So in order to give that, like, you are able to attempt more questions, and speed and clarity about the concepts is what I say is most important here. And the people, the students who are in this particular program, I would just say that get your concepts cleared from the courses you have taken, like MLT, MLF, maths, stats, artificial intelligence, and these courses. Just get these concepts cleared. If your basics are cleared,
Yeah.
you will not face difficulty in attempting, because I told you, right,
Yeah.
the preparation which I had was only based on the coursework which I have done. I have not taken any, I have not referred any external sources.
Okay, so one should go through the coursework very nicely. So that would be good enough for the GATE exam. And also, like, a lot of people are interested in how a day in life of a GATE aspirant looks like. So how was your study routine when you were like preparing for your GATE exam?
Okay, so I started my preparation in January.
Okay.
So, and I was finished with my NDA, and coursework was starting from 17th of January at IITM BS.
Okay.
And as I told you, right, I had taken, during that period, I had taken one on-campus course, and the classes were starting around 17th of
Okay.
January, around that period of time. So for the first half of the January, I was free. So I was entirely like I was revising my whatever concepts which I've learned from maths, stats. So,
Yeah.
And there was this my friend who was preparing with me, along with me, and he also secured good, we were doing this group study.
Okay.
And he secured All India rank of 94.
Wow.
So we two studied together.
That's amazing.
And that's the group study and this discussion which happened between us, right? This was the main reason, and when there was this group study, right? I didn't felt overwhelmed, and it was like it's like a fun thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, we were having discussions. We were like sometimes we go into depth of the topic. We just we were detract from the whatever preparations we were doing.
Yeah.
We were getting into a lot of discussion which was not part of GATE syllabus and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Right.
So it was like much more of a fun experience which was there.
Very true.
And for the reason only, I would say why this was a fun experience, because of this BS coursework which I have done properly, I would say.
That's great. So
Yeah.
I think the BS coursework has really helped you a lot in your journey.
Yeah.
And especially this thing that you mentioned, that you had this friend and he got an All India rank of 94.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is a very interesting thing, like having a person who can get you accountable and who can really help you in something is really a plus point. That is what even Sudarshan sir, told us in the podcast. So do you have any emphasis for this?
Yeah, see, the thing is, like, whenever, like, sometimes I like to procrastinate.
Okay.
But I knew that this friend, he's there and
Yeah.
he's studying, and I am just scrolling my phone or doing some of the other stuff. I'm on doing something else and not preparing. But when I see that, okay, hey, he's studying, and I have to also study. I have to also participate, because there was like sometimes it was like ki you study on, we used to do self study,
Yeah.
and then it was like ki you in the night or in the evening we used to say okay, we'll discuss this particular portion and you explain me this. And this kind of checks, these were the checks, and this really helped me to focus and at least cover my portion. So it was like there was this one topic I didn't prepare.
Okay.
And it was like it was, yes, tomorrow is my gate exam.
Okay.
And tonight I was not preparing. I was just going to, I'll not prepare this topic. If I'll come, I'll see how to do it. But and this, like we were this like with this friend, it was like you do this stuff, I'll do this stuff, and we'll teach other.
Okay.
Teach each other. It was like this, and then I was like, okay, we'll just leave it. I have to let me gather all my revisions and whatever. And he comes to my room and he says, hey, did you complete this particular portion? I was like, no, I'm just leaving this. Okay, hey, wait, let me tell you. Let me bring my notebook. I'll explain you this stuff. And he explained me those two, three topics, and these 2-3 topics were there in my exam.
Wow.
And I corrected those questions. So that's how this group study and this person helped me. And this can be your strategy as well when you are preparing for GATE. You have a buddy with you with whom you are preparing for the GATE.
Very true, very
Yeah.
true. I think that is a very inspiring thing, because finding such a person who can get you accountable and you both have the same targets and you work towards it together collectively, I think that's a really good thing, and I
Yeah.
think it really helps in preparing for a competitive exam. So since you're currently doing your master's MS here at IITM, so how is your experience right now?
It's starting. Classes
Okay.
are going to start on 29th of
Okay.
this month. And right now, just interactions, like we are having interactions with faculty and we have to choose guides. So for now, it's smooth, because there's not, we have just entered into it. But probably soon after, like as the month goes,
Yeah.
I'll get to know and I'll get the hang of what is happening there.
So what are your further plans, like doing MS, and anything you have thought of what you will be doing ahead?
As of now, I'm thinking, like how I'm thinking about going ahead is like, I'm inclined towards research, that is there. But if this MS program would be in check, because this MS in research would be a check,
Yeah.
whether it's the true interest which I have for research, or it's just that sometimes we see, right, there is
Yeah.
this myth that I have this interest.
Yeah.
But this MS program would be a check on me. Okay, if I'm really inclined towards research, and that's how I'm looking for this program as well.
Yeah.
And by the if 1.5 year, 1 year or so, if this interest is still there,
Yeah.
I'll transition and upgrade it to PhD.
Okay.
That's my plan.
Okay.
And if that's not there, then industry, I'll look for opportunities in the industry. So that's how my plan looks for next
Great.
2 years. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, do you have any kind of suggestions or tips for students who are already in the BS degree, how they should go through their coursework, or any kind of suggestion that can help them either academically or any other area as well? So, any kind of
The
tips?
students who are in the foundation level, to them I would say, please get your basics correct. Keep your solid foundations, maths and stats. These are the very important,
Right.
very basic important courses which are there for data scientists. You're gonna use them everywhere. Single application you're gonna work for. These are the very basic things you need to know.
Yes.
Get your foundations correct. The students who are now into diploma and working in diploma, I would say that along with the coursework and along with the projects which are there in this degree, keep working on other projects as well. Start applying for internships, start looking for industry collaboration with your projects, and that will really help on gauging what is actually happening in industry. And so this experience with I had with data communication gave me an insight on how industry data looks like. Because the projects which we did in this degree, the data which we get is very curated, very clean.
Right.
Clean is an there comes with a caveat that the data which we get is clean. There is a caveat, and I know people who are doing this MLP course, they can understand how this data clean comes with a caveat, but the data which is there in industry, it's much more messy and is much more large. And how you handle that data and how you work with that, it's important. So the people who are in diploma level, they should also start working with like looking for internships or getting some kind of an industry collaboration on
Right.
their projects.
So getting the industry exposure of what actually works and getting hands-on things is really important for people.
Getting hands-on thing is really important. This theory, just the theory will not help.
Will not suffice.
Yeah.
So I think that was a great discussion with you, Rohit.
Yeah.
And we really wish that you have a great journey of your master's degree at IITM. And I am pretty sure that people watching this will get great insights from this conversation about GATE and IITM BS degree as a whole. So thank you so much for taking out your time and being here with us, Rohit.
Thank you so much. It was indeed fun to interact with you here.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for giving me opportunity to come on
Absolutely.
the podcast here.
Thank you so much. It was
Thank you
great.
so much. Yeah.